Before we start though, London, are you ready? Certainly feels like they are. Let's see if our teams are as well. GE to mount the attack, and already numbers towards B for both teams.
Immediate fight for those orbs, of course. We expect to see that quite often with the Phoenix in play, but patiently waiting. 3 players on this side, that double duelist that will be spoken about a lot throughout this series. Sato waiting on that cross.
Concealment.
With King alongside him. They're just going to run this straight in onto the fight. Yudoton to start, and Autumn there alongside him. In fact, it's going swimmingly for the side of GE. All 3 players taken out, and the rotation quite far away.
Yeah, nice attempt to flash back by Sato, but he gets shut down. GE flooding the site, and now blows in Neon. Having a fight back from spawn. The spike already ticking. They have no notion where these attackers can be. The reveal will help for a moment. C1, C2, but then all of the remaining Leviathan players fall to give GE a 1-0 start here on Pearl.
Yeah, and I do. I want to go back to something that was touched on by the desk as well when building into this matchup, where it's like, I think at the beginning of the day, you were asking me who was favored in this matchup. I'd slightly give it over to Leviathan. I think they've been a very strong squad, almost taking down G2 in Americas the second time around. But the fact is, after the veto, I'd now maybe go the other way. I think the fact that obviously G floated Fracture was almost like a ball to a red flag, but I think this first map also favors GE, so it really could be an opportunity for them to 2-0.
Pacific's number 3 certainly seems to have a leg up, not just in the veto, but even starting this map. That said, Leviathan, they've pushed up A as 4. Found the solo player Crystal, who was supposed to contain, and as a result, there's not really much of a choice but to finish this B hit. The good thing is, though, nobody is here. The site wide open. GE will have themselves a post plan. And now those pistols, with GE having the option to play a bit further back, hold those chokes, those pistols are going to find it very difficult to find value.
And Neon becomes the major danger in this moment, or maybe not. Blow's already finding one, making this seem dangerous. Patman under pressure as well. The shot's not quite landing, but his teammates are there to support. Even still, it comes down to one. Yudotan to try and save them from around. This should have been easy. His opponent's above him, and the classic can't quite close him out. Any other gun would have denied the Red Bull clutch, but Yudotan just about keeps them alive.
But that's it, Tom. Staying alive in a round that should have been an opportunity to thrive. A Red Bull clutch needed, a 1v2, and a well-placed shot from that headhunter or a right-click landing would have changed the story of the start of this map entirely. GE with a lifeline early on. They'll hold on to their lead. But for Leviathan, that tells them that when it comes to pound-for-pound brawls, they might be in with a chance.
Well, yeah, look at the purchase that comes up. You normally expect a little bit more from a bonus round. It's the 3 rifles invested into 2 pistols have to be brought through, so it definitely gives the defenders a great opportunity. And with already aggressive ground picked up on the B site, they can start to gamble back. They're pushing in towards Art, though, and those fights haven't gone their way. It's Crystal to pick up 2 and leave. Blows the lone defender. His teammate sprinting to try and save him, but there is no one to be saved. In fact, the only thing that can be saved, Mitch, is those guns. They have to bow out.
What a crazy switch up between the rounds, Tom. The last one, it looks like GE could be in trouble. They're getting wrecked by pistols, and granted, LEV had a very good eco strat, pushing one side of the map as 4, and then playing the retake together, using that neon wall to get out, to make the elevation not as much of an issue when you've got players down below. I loved it. And then they get run down. In this round, Crystal's got 2. He's out looking for more, farming up those orbs, and he might have a chance to take another weapon out of the hands of these LEV players. They'll clear the spawn. I think he'll have enough time to walk right into this fight. Neon only needs to land 1 shot, and there it is. It's a headshot, clean as can be. You'd think at this point those weapons would be held onto, and it looks like they will.
Very good start. I think also the people may be thinking Neon, and I mean the agent,
yes,
is dead, might start to question things with the start that Yudotan has had. Just sliding into the angle and absolutely doming. But that was Crystal's round. A huge couple of openers for him in that moment, and putting them into a 3-0 start. Of course, this is their map choice, but I think that is the big talking point, is we're going to look at both these squads and go, okay, what have they fixed on Fracture? Because it's not a particularly good map for either of them. And if we can see GE get off to a strong start on their own choice, which they are favored on, it almost feels like a 50-50 second map. This, though, is an aggressive hold, but so much information already found out by this attack. A lot of utility being put into play, but Spike has managed to do well.
Have they done enough, though? Sato still needs to get out of there, just about falls back to the B side. Okay, safe as can be. It was a little spooky at the start. Obviously, Chamber can get out for free once challenged, but not revealed behind the wall. Made it look like we could have had a much worse fight on their hands. Leviathan keeping trades like this early on is perfect, keeping control of the rifle, and now the Death Squad goes looking for a victim and push out on mid. Gonna give them an early flank on this A play, but not an opportunity to catch any kills just yet.
The turret will deny any push up, and I actually quite like this. I was gonna question whether they'll use the run it back in this round. And that just allows them to clear the site, at least mostly for free. The defenders have already gone for the swing back through. Of course, for Neon, he's now out of Headhunter bullets, so his danger should be reduced. It should be reduced, but he still manages to land one with the classic. The low buy rounds are seeming quite damaging for the side of GE, but when you win the last buy round so clean, it doesn't matter as much.
Well, that's it. They're doing a really good job in the tough rounds, but a much more difficult job in what should be easier, more of a level playing field. But for Leviathan, that's the one thing that the takeaway so far is those eco rounds have been very well structured. Even here, the drone going out, you know that that's going to draw a lot of eyes, probably from the Phoenix as well, but it's combined with that art re-aggression. So everybody's looking towards the spawn, and you can overwhelm with the numbers. Worked out for a couple of kills, but Leviathan chipping away isn't going to work as GE find a 4-0 lead, and the shots don't land right away for Chamber, who is Neon. Let's see how GE handle this.
Happy can plant, just kill. Let's take art, connect to Salva, connect to Salva. Come kill your flash.
Spike planted.
No flash, no. He's droning.
Enemy tags.
Alright, one more, boys, Salva, boy. We fight together. Kill him. Let's fight together, Salva, come.
Yeah.
Guys, guys,
I'm not watching back.
guys,
I'm not coming back.
Yes, okay. Can you
I'll
talk
play with you, you do.
You die OT for you.
You know watch behind you, okay?
They probably saved off, boys.
You are divided.
City, Sova, Aston.
I think they're right. It might just have to be the saving of that operator. Bring it through into the next round, and for GE, this is a worldie of a start. And that's the thing, like, you play these slower rounds, you give players like Neon an opportunity to try and catch somebody. You go for these fast-paced hits into the A side like that, and they have to react fast enough to try and deny you. 5-0 start on the attack side for GE. They are flying.
The question is, when do we see a timeout now? I mean, it's apparent that when it comes to buy rounds, GE are the ones that are really holding the reins with both hands, and they are holding on tightly. Leviathan need to wrestle control away from them, and you're dead right. Timer paused, and I assume that's going to be Leviathan taking a moment to reassess the game plan so far. This is, of course, GE's map pick, so it's not the end of the world for the series overall, but like you said, Tom, with how this veto has panned out, GE having this strong of a start is definitely worrying, because then you don't feel like Fracture's going to be an easy win.
Yeah, I think as well, when you have those youngsters on your side, like we're talking of a team that's like 18, 19-year-olds, and then the IGL being an old 24, it kind of does feel like you need to stem the bleeding earlier, because they are just getting used to this stage, getting used to being at these internationals. And of course, for Neon, that Coinbase win condition, a man that has been talked about an awful lot. I'm sure you could take that across pretty much any member of this squad of young stars, but it has been a slow start for the entirety of the team. Sato as well, 1-5, someone who has lit the world on fire since being in this roster. And I think for Owner, this is the moment to go, okay, maybe it's not even about like strategy or what our opponents are doing. It's more so, okay, We're not even hitting our shots at the moment.
Well, that's true, and I think not to zoom in too much on Neon, but that has been an issue for him. You see some of these moments where he's usually so reliable. He'll go a couple rounds without a kill, but when they come to his side of the map, he farms, and that's not been the case so far. A couple of missed shots, pressure applied by GE, and there hasn't been a response from Leviathan. That should all change now as the pause concludes. The barriers go up once more, and hopefully we see a better face from Leviathan. Still with a full buy, there will be a shotgun in play on Spikes in. The bookie still reliable even with the nerfs, and well, Neon is the one drawing my eye, but he's on the other side of the map. GE are putting pressure on B at least to start.
Immediately, lockdown utilized King, hoping that maybe some stray shots can connect, but just look at the spike. They are not committed to this B site just yet. I'd maybe even trying to catch out some of the rotations. In fact, they're trying to pincer in on them from behind, catch them where they know they've pushed. A good stun, though, will at least slow things down a little bit. The overdrive used to try and just pad some of that damage, but even still, that opening kill has gone in the other direction. However, Spikes in has managed a trade.
It's this pressure on the Crystal. It has to go the way of Leviathan. So they had that advantage, at least avoiding it. No punish could be fine. But Crystal now has the option to take that space a little bit later. Heard the Neon running away, knows the B site is now much more open, but there's going to be a fake from Autumn attempting to mislead this defensive side, and it has worked perfectly. He hasn't even made noise just yet, clearing the A site completely. The Spike still doesn't know which site would be the easier to hit, but finally settled on B, and Autumn is going to go and join them. If he can slip away, it gets a kill as well. GE with a big leg up now.
But yeah, that was doubt from Autumn. You saw his teammates stop because they go, well, there's actually no one on A.
They're not here, they're not there.
Here, so they must be somewhere else. And Autumn is now just the ultimate backstab, looking to try and group up. Crystal has taken so much space already, and Sato is completely unaware. They are playing them like a fiddle. A team known for these set strats, these setups, even in their retakes, are not being allowed to do so because GE are just playing with their minds, and they will get to save none of those weapons. 6-0. This is beautiful stuff from GE.
I would have rathered see anybody on GE ace that round if I was in Leviathan's coach booth. You call a timeout, and the game plan is where you get diffed. The pressure put on towards the double doors gets Neon to walk up in art. You lose your chamber, you lose that hole. What did we just talk about? He's going to be the one containing one side of a map and showing up when he gets challenged, and instead his sight falls and it ends up being used as a ruse. GE playing a better game, plain and simple, and Leviathan falling miles behind, now even facing an eco as well, or at least a low buy. There are some pieces here. Some less now.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord.
Less now.
The unit on Neon when it's been needed, which hasn't been the whole time, but he is 10-1 right now. Utterly dominating. Well, it's at least not going to be flawless. That's about all that you can hope for on the GE side. And just look at the way they fall back as well. You wouldn't have even been too mad at Javi for sort of going for the swing there, trying to take an extra kill. Like, look at the current scoreline, look at how your team is. But he doesn't. He doesn't risk it.
There's always elements of confidence that have to be in play, but I love seeing a team that's ahead playing like they're behind. It's exactly why you can see players sometimes having chances pulled out of thin air, and a few more shots in the mag, and that could have been the round. But King, 5 HP now. He surely has to go for the save. A nice try, but I don't think...
to the blaze.
yeah, exactly. It's not quite enough to put the win back in Leviathan's sails just yet.
He's trying to pull them back in. I like it. They're just throwing a piece or two of utility out to try and do damage, but I think we are well past the point of damage. The credits booming. You're going to have multiple players buying back up with max credits on the side of GE. And it feels like for Leviathan, they need that swing round. They need something to enlighten the flame of this squad, because that's what we've talked about when watching them in Americas, is that flair, that level of aggression, individual brilliance. I think Neon and Sato especially have been highlighted a lot for the fact they could take over rounds. Right now, they are being utterly diffed.
Bro, he turned from the Phoenix Flash before he even... Before he even knew it was coming, he turned from the Phoenix Flash. If you're Leviathan right now, every single thing you do, you feel like your comms are being leaked to GE. Like, they know they're ahead of the play every time. They're pushing the right spot, they're pulling the right rotations, and they're punishing every mistake. This attack side looking clean, and that's the orb Autumn was looking for in that last fight of the previous round. He's now got the run it back online again, making what has been an easy attack side that much easier in this round.
Full rotation back across the map. Now there is an implant in play. Neon has pushed out mid. But instead, it seems like they found the gap again. There's only one player towards this A side of the map. Blow's just having to sit all the way back, and he's calling for those rotations. You can see it immediately. They know that this is going to have some direction to it. The run it back, clearing out everything. Only the back of the site left unchecked, and there's nobody in it anyway. A post plant guaranteed, but a player following it up. Good drone, though. They've at least spotted it, but Yudatan is not falling back. He wants to fight this.
It looks like he's having fun as well, but now the ults from Leviathan end up playing against them. Autumn's taking him twice in a number of seconds in a 3v3 once again, but all hope is not lost for Leviathan just yet. They still have 3 to fight. They still have the all posted, the headhunter to fall back to, and the advantage now in their hands. A chance to push this further with just one standing in their way, and not for long.
They desperately needed that. Desperately needed to get that round on the board. And even just looking at the HP, look how close it was. 8 HP, 9 HP for Neon and Blows. As they finally managed to come out of one of them alive. The combo of 7 in a row has been broken, but of course, and this isn't going to blow anybody's mind, there's plenty of credits available for GE to buy back into this one. The good thing, though, is in terms of the ult economy, GE actually don't have too much to play with. They used some of them in the last couple of rounds, whereas that Hunter's Fury and Tour de Force could still be used.
Well, it looks like mid-fight is the game plan for Leviathan, wasting no time. They're already up in top mid, looking for the fight on the Crystal, who gets dropped by the Hunter's Fury. But it ends up being an immediate trade and still pushing up Asado. Headshot immediately delivered, and he will be bailing out of there, taking a little heal from his wall as he goes. But all aggression sent the other way by GE, at least to start this round.
Yeah, GE have done well to soak up that pressure. I think there's a very real chance they come out of that with a much bigger deficit. But I like the fact that Leviathan are also not just shying away from these fights, considering the scoreline. Sato, of course, has been able to heal up a little bit. Yudatan is going to try and fight this. The flash, it's good, but even again, it's just an immediate trade. Patman so quick with it. And they're still putting pressure on other parts of the map. King, oh, he knows. He knows there's a man around this corner. He was reloading. That's the man advantage in favor of Leviathan. And now for the remaining members of GE, they have to go on a long rotation back towards the B site.
I've seen this as well. You lose your player A main. GE are keen to put some pressure, but they don't run straight into the site. You're still seeing Leviathan have players across the map, as you said, on double doors where King found that kill, and Neon stood up here in heaven. Even with the smoke, there's an angle, and the shot lands clean as can be. Patman, man who was doubted, and I'll doubt him again. This 1v3 looking to be near impossible now that Leviathan have woken up. It will be on his shoulders to put them back to sleep.
And Neon's patient. Doesn't go swinging before his teammates arrive. They were waiting for the dart to come back online, and now they know exactly where their opponent is. He's even going to get picked up by it as well. That'll make it all too easy. I said it, that one round just seems to have immediately flicked the switch. You see how confident that they actually played in those moments. And that's more of what we expect to see from this squad.
Yeah, absolutely. Just calming the nerves after what was a really rough start to the half. But there's still time for this to go back in their favor. Look, a 7-5 coming out of here. A damn sight better than what it looked like. And the most important thing for me, Tom, is from that first round win, you can see Leviathan on their feet. The energy's not gone anywhere. They're not counting themselves out of this.
We saw the content piece earlier with Jen. Sado said he's gone in for that #1. I think, you know, it's always going to be difficult to beat Yetaje. That is one thing he definitely does better than anyone else. And again, we're going to have this early contact. Operator Sato King's done well. The spam finding Autumn. He has been a nuisance for them so far. But there is a second layer as well. That looked dead on, but it didn't land.
He mustn't have been fully planted his feet on the ground at that point. Yudotan in danger as King steps through the utility, finds himself one, but it starts to crumble. The numbers right back to level. Spikes in so slow and
You
patient.
should run.
Maybe a little bit too slow now. The lockdown comes into play. He'll have to challenge this very early indeed. And I think the play is going to have to be concede the site. Let that clock run down a little bit further and retake after.
I like this from Patman. You think that maybe they won't be this close, and because of that, he's reclaimed the space. Immediate trade, and another one from Spikesy. It's going to come down to a 1v1. Crystal just waiting patiently, expects his opponent to swing, already gets it to half, but it's Crystal once again. They're not going to allow their opponents to bring this back to 5, as he'll take it 8-2.
It was a tough start to this map for Crystal. Round 2, he got ran down by a classic and taken down, but I think immediately after that it was a 2K. He started to look confident, and now he's had 2 big rounds under his belt. Hammering Leviathan into the dirt, 8-2 now. And a big gap between these teams. The half, though, not settled just yet. Ults start to come online in favor of Leviathan. It made a difference last time, albeit that Sato ended up throwing his life away with the ult. G punished it right away.
Oh, contact play, but look. G, we spoke about this, the Death spoke about it. It is the team with the set plays versus the team with the counters. They're just waiting it out, but Neon doesn't go anywhere. He keeps that space. Yudoton gone. And a man advantage for Leviathan once again.
A much more passive stance as well. Right afterwards, King's being spotted, immediately just falls back. Looking for that contact, but you've only seen one player. It's not going to get the rotates out of you just yet. GE close in the distance. Prowler, he'll draw the rotate in from Spikesy, but he is gone. Nice shot from Patman, great stun as well. Followed up, that's utility from Javi, finding a huge mark in this round. And a 3v4 retake, but the numbers, they could be equalized here, but the ult from Autumn has saved the day. Neon's left alone, and it's not a pretty situation.
He's got no choice. No way he was ever getting back into that round. And again, you just see some of the individual brilliance and flair from these GE players. It's something that I love the fact that we're hearing it from Patman himself in those interviews, that when you go back to some of the moments in the last team, he had to be more supplementary in Paperex. He had to help others. He had to almost be the safety net to what is the manic craziness. Now in this team, he can be more aggressive. He can take more space. He can almost be that superstar when they need him. And this round, it was just him walking in, hitting a crazy shot and getting the opener into the site for Neon. Oh, okay. That's what we expect to see. Unfortunately, too late in the round, and he won't be able to hold on to the gun. GE are not going to care about the personnel losses. They can comfortably buy back up, whereas that operator, okay, there's a tour de force, but it won't be an operator alongside it.
At least a tour de force and a rifle drop to a teammate. It's something, but a silver lining on a very gray cloud at the moment. 1 round left to play, and double digits possible for GE at the halftime. Leviathan certainly come in here with a high bar. After that performance in Americas, they could be coming out as #1.
They very nearly did.
A pistol round could have swung it, but now it seems like they've fallen so far behind what seemed to be playoffs that they were destined for.
Well, GE rising to the occasion. No doubt about that. Neon already forced back.
You are divided.
It definitely seems like they have caused him a lot of issues throughout this game, not just able to sit on these aggressive angles and find players. Sato, again, only going to get one. The trading from G has been perfect, and every time it seems like he's posted on an aggro angle, there is somebody just ready to put utility into his face, making that superstar look null and void. And Yudotan, he wanted to try and catch him before he could flee. In fact, they're all getting aggressive, pushing into the hands of Neon and leaving it all to Autumn. This round will be claimed by Leviathan, but they are still very, very far behind.
Oh, there is a lot of work to do when it comes to the second half, but We saw some sparks towards the end of this one, some decent rounds from Leviathan. But GE with a big lead at halftime. We'll see if Leviathan can bounce back after the break. One-man army. A triple live. He's hunting down that title.
The time to write the next chapter in the esports history books is finally here.
And they fold it in his hands yet again. Steps up to the plate, and he could knock this one out of the park. They shall be engraved alongside the greats. Well, it has been a tough half for Leviathan, but now they move to the attack side. You have to hope that something's going to change, Tom. This veto from the desk from you as well. It seems like people are leaning it heavily in GE's favor, and after this strong of a start, I think it's time to start worrying for Leviathan in this series.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, especially with Fracture being such an unknown. I will say, obviously, with it being left open, we have the expectation that GE will have changed stuff, but there can be the same expectation on the other side for them to have picked it. So it might not be a death sentence, it's just worrying, because you're basically going to be seeing the first officials of those two teams making their changes in the next, and if they've got it wrong, that could be a huge problem. For now, at least, though, a pistol round a necessity. And the defensive side, very, very proactive. Of course, there is a trap holding that line. So the information will be garnered. And the problem on the other side is Crystal is going to have to delay an awful long time before his teammates can arrive.
Utility blocking off R. It's only going to be a nano, and I don't think Spike Scene could get straight through it. But it won't buy that much time. A grab well to delay a little bit longer as the flank comes in. But take a look at the position of King here. Realizing they've pushed B, he's going to now start to thread the needle behind as well and try to make problems for these defenders in spawn.
Spike planted.
The attackers now need to realize that there are definitely players coming in from behind, but they're able to clear everything out. Art has been spotted. They know the two avenues in which they're being pushed, but the timing might not go their way. Crystal already managing to clear out one, and they are just on that diffusal already to half. The next time it's tapped might be their undoing. They're just diffusing it in front of their nose. They need to get in there, and they're not fast enough! It's an immediate diffusal and a bit of a blip from Leviathan at a time when they really didn't need that.
I think King was waiting for the signal to go on that flank, and it just didn't come in on time. GE's pace caught them off guard, floating straight back in. Crystal finding two that quickly, got rid of the players who were supposed to stop them from getting near that spike, and then everyone else is too far away from the play. It's a disaster for Leviathan. This pistol could have given them a leg up, but now they are so far behind. And the climb back steep and near impossible if GE keep this up. Double digits found. An aggression again coming in from the defensive side, this time running into all of the Leviathan players for one. And it's a bloodbath with barely any spilled on GE's side.
Oh, they've got to be over the moon. Like, a lot of the time we'll talk about the risks of pushing, but you could just see the confidence that this team is playing with. Spike under their control, and wow. the best case for
Taking that
King
back.
is he drops a gun. That's the absolute best case, but they are now starting to realize, well, that was probably one of the worst case, because now you have a flawless round and you have a run it back going into the next one for Autumn, who's also been having a fantastic series. I want to say as well, he's someone I'm very happy to see back on the international stage. I remember him in MPX being one of my favorite players to watch on that squad. Moving over to GE seemed like a wonderful pickup, and it has been.
It's fair to say, again, taking the consideration of how close that final was for Leviathan over in Americas. Them coming in here, the questions that float around about GE.
Yeah. Do we just give the Paper X the trophy now?
Ooh, we need to.
if this is the region diff, I think we're in trouble. Nonetheless, for Leviathan, we need to see a little bit more. Let's listen in.
Retirando B, guys.
¿Cómo quieres ganar?
Softening, fake molly.
Vamos. Ele después ter ganhado a Blauta.
Tá, posso voltar a dronar, Bruno. Vou voltar a dronar, guys. Olha esse pack de tá?
Vamos finalizar pra ver porque eles reclinaram, tá
Tá,
ligado?
vou dronar,
Eles
Bruno.
não tem
Vamos
ninguém
redominar
perto.
grafite então?
Eu vou dronar e voltar pra ver pegar spike, tá? Vou ter que ir pelo long.
Podemos voltar pra um split rua se você
Tá,
quiser.
tá. Eu vou ter que
Porque
ir pelo
o timing
long.
não tá muito bom aqui.
Nada longear, Bruno.
Tá. Nada grafite também. Só voltamos já? Volta,
Ah, não, calma,
fazer
olha.
pressão, tá?
Vamos só pressão, tá?
Dominar. Vou fazer a pressão. Dominar.
Well, so far, GE have had the right read. They've had the players in the right place. So this time, Leviathan throw in a little bit of a fake, even find Patman to start it off, and now look to switch to the other direction, cutting off that entire middle of the map with the Killjoy utility down. Leaves Javi in a spot where his back is open, so he pushes forward, finds one, but now he's surrounded.
He's got a teammate, though. Yudotan has managed to move to the back of the site. They're going to try and cover each other
One
off, but there
enemy
is that
remaining.
backstab from Neon, and they clear Yudotan at the same time. Solid work from
Spike
Leviathan.
planted.
For Autumn, even saving the gun, Patman a little bit low when it comes to the credits. He does have his ult to play with, but wasting it versus 3, it would be a confidence round if he could take it, but I think the realization is in this case, it's not worth the gamble.
It's for the greater good, absolutely. Autumn going to save means Leviathan push up to 4. And this has to be the start of something special to put that win back in their sails. You know, the funny thing is for GE, we say, like, they've had the right read, they've been in the right place, both halves played excellently. But for Leviathan, here they throw the fake in and still end up running into numbers. So GE still get those rotates to be in time, still fight them in mid. It's really impressive seeing GE's understanding of what their opponents are aiming to do. More often than not, they're ahead of the play, and that's a big problem for LEV to deal with.
Enemy remaining.
I think the one layer that was nice was having that extra push through from Neon, like just from behind. I think if they all go in the other direction through mid, there's a very good chance they end up losing that round, but that backstab onto Javi also just put Yudotan in a really awkward position. 11-4. Even just getting a few rounds here for the Americas #2 might be enough to just build up that confidence a little bit, show some of that flair. I think getting back into the map, I'm going to need quite a few more before I start to believe in that.
Without a doubt, the gap is far too big. Even a lucky round can push GE across the line to at least an OT. It seems like LEV spreading the net early, looking to punish some aggression. Pressure on A, waiting on B long, waiting outside mid, but nothing comes in when they expect it to. And as soon as they abandon the spots, then GE push up. Look at Yudotan's position right now. He's taken full B main control, just as they left it. And that means now that the stack up is on A, and that's exactly where Leviathan are heading towards.
Come on, let's go! Joke's over! You're dead!
We're going to get a Phoenix fight off, but already so much damage done to that ult, and eventually Autumn is going to clear. Holding them back for now, but there were already 3 players looking to make their way through art. The problem that there is they almost have to go A or go all the way back around the map. And it's that deep position that's being held by Yudotan, which could be a problem if they do. The pick from Neon, though, makes things interesting. 30 seconds left. They are committed to this A site now. And with no rotation seen, that will mean that GE can gamble 3 players here as well.
They've got to go soon. There's a good chance someone's already pushing behind them in A main. Straight into A is the only way for Leviathan. Trying to force this out of the hands of their opponents. Crystal does very well.
10 seconds
It's a
left.
triple for
Last
Crystal
player
before he
standing.
falls.
Spike planted.
And so the man on the other side of the map, Yudoton, has a chance, but blows with the perfect reposition. Hasn't been spotted, but will be dropped. Neon
We're good.
versus Neon, I suppose.
Go, go,
Yudoton taps the spike and tries to bait his opponent into the fight, lands a shot, leaves him on a sliver. But Neon's still alive on the other side, still drawing breath, but no longer. GE with no mercy, 12-4.
Oh god, we've been calling him Yudotan the whole game. We might have to change it to Himdotan. Like, the guy has just taken over. Like, he's been the entry for the majority of the game. We've seen him play impressively, but then just the reaction shot, and then the fact is, Neon in that moment TP'd away. He hit him in the 140. Like, the headshot was so fast that even the TP wasn't quick enough to get away from it. This is one of the best looks we've seen from Global Esports. A team that had a curse against them about making it to a playoffs. Now on the international stage, well, they're beginning to look like maybe favorites to make it to the playoffs in London. They have been so impressive. And a pace change coming through. A more brute force strategy. And just look at the defense. They are on the complete wrong side of the map. You've said it. They've had the good read almost every time, Mitch. This is one of the first times they were wrong.
It's an
Spike
exception,
planted.
but Crystal's been so reliable when they push his site. This time they're playing it more passive, knowing that they've got that lockdown to work with. To fall back on Hunter's Fury going to be thrown through here, and that causes an issue. Lockdown gone. An aggression from Leviathan punishes what should have been the Flood on the back of it, but Autumn has found another. Crystal once again shows up, and GE, they continue their push towards the site. Their push towards a 1-0 advantage. Shock darts could do a lot here. Javi so low, but they've made it to the spike, and now the tap comes in. Leviathan having to swing in under pressure. King finds one, but they don't have the diffuser!
Defenders
Crystal
win.